If you've been following along this chapter up to this point, then you may have seen me talk about ratings and labels a little bit. And what I want to do for this movie is dive into it a little bit deeper and show you the different ways and options that you have for applying ratings and labels to images here within Adobe Bridge. Ratings and labels can be useful, as we know, because we can kind of identify the images that we want to keep or ones that we like better than others, or we can mark images for approval and that sort of thing, or assign what piece of collateral we're going to use them in. So in a prior movie I talked about the preview mode, and we can enter the preview mode by hitting the space bar on our keyboard, and that takes us into a mode where we can view full screen the images that we're looking at. We can also apply a rating to and a label to this particular photo. And I can apply a rating just by simply hitting any key 1 through 5. In this case I'll hit a 3 on my keyboard, and then it tells me down at the lower left hand corner what rating I just applied to this particular image. If I back out of preview mode, and let's say now I want to go into review mode, so I'm going to hit Control B on my keyboard, then we can see that this image has 3 stars assigned to it here. So if I cycle to another image, let's say I'm going to hit the 5 on my keyboard to assign a 5-star rating to this image, and then I back out of review mode, we can see the 2 images here that I applied a rating to. And if we also come over here to the review pane, we can see that the rating shows there as well. But what if I want to apply a rating to the images that are out here? Well, if I hit the 2 key while I'm in this mode, it's going to jump to the 2nd image. If I hit the 5 key, it's going to jump to the 5th image. I can also hit the 12 key really quickly to jump to the 12th image. But as we can see, it doesn't apply a rating like it does in the preview or the review mode. So how would I go about applying a rating in this view? Well, there's a preference that tells us that the keyboard shortcut for applying a rating to any of the images while in this view is to hit Control and then any number between 1 through 5. So if I have this image on my screen selected and I hit the Control 3 key, then it is going to apply a 3-star rating to that image. But what if I don't like this setup? What if I want it to be universal, where all I have to do is hit the 1 through 5 key? If I go up to the Edit menu and click on Preferences, there'll be a preference in here called Labels. The first preference under the Labels preference is require the Control key to apply labels and ratings. If I unselect that option and then click OK, now come in, highlight an image, and only hit the 3 key, now I can apply a rating to any of these images. If I want to turn that feature back on, I simply go back to the Preferences menu and select that checkbox. Now in terms of labels, we also have keyboard shortcuts that we can apply to labels. And you may notice that if I uncheck this checkbox, that any number between 6 and 9 that is above our standard 1 through 5 star rating is going to assign a label to it. And if I check this back, now I have to hit the Control key if I want to assign a label to any of the ones that are out here. So I'm going to hit Control 6 to assign a label there. And we can see that this label is color coded, which helps me easily identify what's what. So if I hit Control 8 there, we can see the green label. And my medium, if I go back to the Preferences menu, shows me what means what while I'm in here. So those are the many different ways that you can apply ratings and labels to your images to help your workflow.